Hi, thanks for tuning in today. I'm Jonas. This is Sublime Media, and today I am actually sending live, like every Friday, at this time on my channel from the Sublime Media headquarters. This is actually the place where I store everything that I actually sell. So yes, I have been on YouTube for 14 years, but since 2 years back, I'm actually also selling records, which is kind of neat. But I have a grown-up job also, so don't worry. Okay, so I don't know if anyone's watching. If anyone's watching, please comment if the sound is okay and the visual is okay, like the picture. So just let me know that in the comments. This is going to shoot out, so you can watch this later on. So I'm going to talk like people are watching later. But with that being said, this is the opportunity for everyone to shoot questions for me. Shop related or record related also, obviously. So you have the comments, the chat. Put your questions and stuff like that in chat, and let's have a discussion going. I love that this is an interacting kind of thing. Also, if anyone wants to join me, I think that's a thing you can do now. So if anyone wants to join me up here, just let me know and I'll send you a link or something. We'll just figure it out, and we'll talk both on camera. So yeah, I'm going to talk about some stuff today. I'm going to talk about Record Store Day. That's the next week. I don't participate in Record Store Day, not as a shop or as actually a customer. I don't really care for Record Store Day, if I have to be, if I am honest. But I love what they're doing, like highlighting, letting as many people as possible know about record shops, and releasing limited editions so that people actually go and visit the shops. I don't participate, but I want as many as possible to just go to a record store, support your local record store, small record store. So that's my opinion. But with that being said, some years there are releases that is just too good to pass on. And this year, in my opinion, maybe this is the Swedish release of the century. It's gonna be awesome. So I'm actually working together with Warner Music to promote this. So I got 2 copies now to review, and I'm listening to it. It's spinning in the background now, because I think that I'm super honored to be a part of this. Definitely a small part of this, but I think that I am a pretty good advocate of this music. So yeah, to watching, can anyone please comment so I know that the sound and the visuals are okay before I continue? Oh yeah, hi. Awesome. Hi dude, god morgon. Before you ask sound and picture, perfect. Thank you so much. Always, every Friday, man. Thank you so much for supporting. Really, I don't take this for granted. Thank you so much. Okay, so I want to talk about Record Store Day. I have some other Record Store Day releases also that I showed last Friday, but I want to talk a little bit more about them because I think that I can get copies. Even I don't think that they are all out from my distributors. So I think I can order them and then sell them after Record Store Day on the Sunday. But other than that, I don't have much to talk about, actually. So I'm going to talk a little bit about books that I have in my shop that I sell that I really, really love. Because when I started up my business, I've got a pretty hefty pile of good music-related books, in my opinion, at least. And I really thought that I would be selling them. But no one buys books. No one have bought a book. And I don't think that it's because of the price. It's just I don't feel like people are reading anymore, except for me. So I want to highlight some books that I have in stock. And if no one buys them, I'm going to keep them for myself. So no worries, And also I'm going to talk a little bit about Dark. I still have cassette tapes of the Dark release around the edges. And yeah, so let's try to keep this at 30 minutes to an hour tops, But let's start with the debacle of the Kent releases. I know I've been talking about these releases on Swedish social on Instagram, but in Swedish, because they are a Swedish band. They sing in Swedish. They are released here in Sweden, and I don't feel like it's necessary to write in English about what I feel about the releases. But with that being said, I have had a ton of messages from people all around the world asking me what the fuck I'm talking about, because they see that I'm upset with these and things are happening, but they don't know what. So let's just take it back a notch. 2 weeks ago, Kent, one of, if not the biggest band in Swedish pop and rock today, relaunched the entire catalog, or all but two. Of their releases from the 90s to now. Like in 2016, they called it Quits, but now as a 30-year anniversary thingy, they went out on stage again. Totally sold out, like 6 big concerts in Sweden, and call it Quits again. So a perfect opportunity to release the entire catalog, milking the cow. As you should. So I was super pep. I was super positive about these, and I studied as a motherfucker before, because I wanted to do a best to worst kind of video about Kent, because I grew up with these guys. I know the music inside out, and then the record landed, and it's shit. Like, it's totally garbage from start to finish. Like, I did a video on it, but in Swedish, where I talk about everything from the cover artwork to the record itself, to the pressing quality, to just the neglect of putting any form of interest into the actual product. I did like a rant video. I was so bummed. So I just pressed record, recorded that here on my webcam, and sent it off. And the video took off. One week later, it had spread to all places in Sweden, and actually a newspaper, or like a magazine, picked it up, and it's the third most read article today at this paper, one of the biggest music papers in Sweden. And people have just like the messages and the emails, and even I got calls on my phone. People just really agreeing with me, and it's not about the Kent releases like these per se. Like this was where I had enough with the quality, but it's a lot of releases today that is just cash grabs. So I think that I pointed on a problem that a lot of people actually think but haven't really spoken out of, or maybe they don't have a platform to actually like speak out about it. So I contacted the distributor. I wanted to send them back. They didn't want to take it back, not on their at their cost, at least. So I went to Sony Music, and Sony Music sent a email to me, and sort of like they sort of thought it was only the pressing quality and that this particular record that I've opened was the fault, and they were like talking about excuses, blaming the pressing plant, which is totally bonkers because it has nothing to do with the pressing plant. So I wrote an email back, and I got a corporate sort of answer. So that's what the last sort of thing I've heard. This was last Friday, and I haven't really spoken out about it since, in a week now. So to make stuff even worse, I'm doing a campaign. So because I can't sell them, I won't sell them. I won't sell these records that I'm stuck with. I won't keep them because I don't think that they sound good, and I don't think that they are good quality. The distributor won't take it back, and Sony is blaming the pressing plant. So the only thing I can think of is to actually do a contest on Instagram and give them away. So I'm doing that, like a campaign, 2 weeks. So I'm prepping a video for that. So stay tuned on the Instagram to see how to win these. I'm gonna. I thought of like I'm gonna have 3 losers that has to take them. So the first loser gets his first pick of 6 records, and then the next one, so forth. So let's see what comes through that. But I mean, I don't have any end goal with this. It got a lot of publicity, and I just feel like keeping the ball rolling, because it's just a statement, really, of not tolerating bad pressings and cash grabs. I mean, this is one of the biggest group in Sweden, and the fans and the band deserves so much more. It is beautiful music, and they just shit all over it. And I'll show you. This is how, like, with the next record I'm going to show you, put out by Warner Music, this is how you supposed to do a release, you know? This is how you press records today. Not this. This is MP3 or CD at best on a piece of wax. They just press as many as they can and just secure that coin, you know. No love whatsoever. So that's the sort of the news about that. So stay tuned for the campaign. Now to much more fun stuff to talk about. So I'm doing a collaboration or sorts. Not collaboration, definitely not a collaboration. But I'm sorry, I got contacted by Warner Music here in Sweden. They are releasing a super cool record for Record Store Day. So next week. They have pressed it in 1,000 copies, and it's one of the coolest records that have ever been released in Sweden. And they asked me if I wanted to promote it. And absolutely, I got free hands, so I can do whatever I want with the promotion of this. So I'm going to try to promote this as much as I can during the week, because this is how you release stuff to me. I'm talking about live. Okay, so if you're in Sweden and if you are into psychedelic and prog and record collecting, I think that this is no news for you, and maybe not outside of Sweden either. If you are a diehard collector of really rare records. So Live came in 1971, a trio, and they recorded a record in Swedish, because a lot of like November and Pug has already done like harder rock or hard psych in Swedish. Otherwise, everyone in the 60s and beginning of the 70s were singing in English. So they recorded it in Swedish, released it. Like no one bought it really. And it's an enigma to me, because with this artwork and with the quality of the songs and the musicianship, it should have been the most sold record that year, in my opinion, but it wasn't. So what very few know is that at the same time in 1971, they actually re-recorded the vocals and did an English version for the English market. Everything is you can read in the newly written liner notes by Tobias in here. But so they did that, they released it, and I heard I don't know, maybe it's in the liner notes, I haven't read it yet, but it's like 100 copies or something like that was pressed to be sent out into the world. But I don't think that they really went anywhere. So very few were still available. So that's what they are pressing for Record Store Day now. This is released in all good Record Store Day stores in Sweden next Saturday. And I will be selling this also, but I'm not participating as a store in Record Store Day, so I can't sell it until I think Sunday. So yeah, I'm waiting for a call from Warner to sort out the details. But in my mind, I'll have it on my web shop, and I can sort of, people can PM me if you're outside of Sweden, and I'll do a list, and then I'll order it and I'll sell it off to you guys. So my hope and my hope, and what I think also, is that I will try to send this out to as many people out there as possible, and hopefully as many international collectors as possible also, because this deserves to go out there. So reading the hype sticker here, the highly acclaimed 1971 masterpiece from the Swedish heavy power trio Live. And masterpiece in this opinion, yes, it is. It is a masterpiece. It's from start to finish perfect record. I think that if you like really heavy psych or proto metal, this is maybe not for you. This is more poppy. This is more like of that pop psych vein, but with real like good progressive movements throughout. It's obviously it's on online, so you can sample it, and I think that everyone should. It's mastered from the original master tapes. It also says, and it's actually, I think it's cut by one of the engineers that was actually on the recording when they recorded the record. So if anyone knows what he's like doing, I guess that it's him. But what it fails to say here on the hype sticker is that it's also pressed at Optimal in Germany. The A&R guy at Warner told me that. And I mean, we all know that Optimal has one of the best pressing plants in the world. So that's also like a big thumbs up for the quality of the release. Also, new liner notes from Tobias Pettersson, the author of Encyclopedia of Swedish Progressive Music. So the big prog book here in Sweden, very sought after, and I think that many of us Swedish prog collectors has that and uses it almost like weekly. He did liner notes that I haven't had time to, because I got this last night. So the A&R guy actually came to my house and handed me this personally. So I haven't had time to read it yet, but I will. And rare unseen photos. I think that Stefan Dimle from Melatonin Records that I talk about a lot because he's the best guy in the world. That he provided some of those photos. I might be mistaken. Anyway, so the most sought after LP from Sweden, yeah, could be like one of the most rare and sought after progressive records in Sweden. Nowadays, it fetches like, I don't know, $2,000, something like that, if you want the English version. And even the Swedish version is going up there in price now. I mean, when I got the English version, the Swedish version was maybe $250, $400 euro, you know. And maybe the English version were like 1,500 or something like that. I don't know. Somewhere around that parts. They did a run of 1,000 of this. So kind of cool that they actually went out and pressed 1,000. But in my like estimation, is that the word for it? This will fly off the wall. I told the A&R guy, like, this is the release of the century. Like, with this quality, new liner notes, this music, the rarity, how sought after this is on an international market, this should fly off the wall. And it's an official release from the master tapes, taken from the vaults of Warner here in Sweden. It's just insane. So very, very cool. I'm going to show you the content. I will do much more promotion of this, showing you the stuff on Instagram and so forth. But the only downside with this is that it didn't have a polyliner sleeve. So you have to change that for another one. But they replicated or took photos of the actual box of the master tape as in a sleeve, which I think is a brilliant thing to actually do. You get in your hands, you get a little piece of history that you hold in your hands. It feels like that anyway. And I don't know if you can see, but I have the MoFi box set of the Beatles, the collection up there, the big wooden box, and all of those sleeves are actually photos of the master tapes. So a little bit of a nod there maybe to that release. But I thought it was kind of cool. You also get a booklet. So this is a 4-page booklet with photo, new liner notes by Tobias Pettersson, and backside there. Never seen photos, if I understood correctly. Like, if you listen to the music, it's so mature. Like, and these look like kids. it's insane. Like when you doesn't when you see that photo, you can't really wrap your head around that those kids are actually on on the record and inside of the gatefold. So yeah, can't actually show you the label, but they replicated the label also. Yeah, so I don't know. That's with that being said, this is a monster. I will sell this in one way or another. So just stay tuned. Like the coolest thing is if you have a record store that holds this in your in your town, you know, where you go on record store day. I mean, please don't hold back. Like buy it from the actual record stores on record store day. But if you don't have the opportunity to go to a record store, or if you're abroad, you know, and you really want one of these, I will sell them on Sunday afterwards in one capacity or another. So I'll hook you up with a copy, and you should have a copy of this. It's not like, I don't say that often, but everyone should buy a copy of that record. And to be totally transparent, I don't get money to promote this. I get a few copies, but that's the only sort of payment I get for promoting this record. There's 3 records that I have in my collection that I am particularly proud of. The first one is the July record. The second one is Will Malone. And the third one is the English version of Life. So I feel like I'm like destined to do this on this channel and this medium. Yeah. And as a side note, how I got the record in the first place, I think like maybe 8 years ago, 10 years ago, I can't really remember, something like that. I definitely had my daughter, so she's 11 now. Time flies. But I bought a record from a guy in Holland. I think it was on Discogs, something like that. And this guy was like, it was like a 20-euro record, something like that. And as always, almost, I asked him, like, do you have anything more that you haven't listed? And he said, yeah, I have some prog. I actually have a Swedish prog record if you're interested. He said, it's very rare. It's very rare. Like, so I'll send you pictures of it. So he sent pictures of this, and immediately, like, I was chills went down my spine. I thought, like, shit, I will be, maybe I will be a proud owner of the Swedish version of this, because he wanted like 250 euro, something like that for it, maybe 300 euro, maybe a little bit more. I can't really remember the price now, but the price was like the median on the Swedish version. And he started sending more pictures, and I noticed, like, on the label everything was in English, so my heart just stopped. And I paid the guy, he sent it. So obviously he didn't know that there were 2 versions of that record. I feel a little bit bad now when I tell the story, but then again, it's like I spend so much time on hunting these records. So if he didn't know, he didn't know. Okay, anyway. So that's how I actually got the English version. I got the English version back then for what the Swedish version was going for, which is kind of cool. And I've been looking for the Swedish version ever since, but it's just keep on going up in price, and I never like pull the trigger on it, which is kind of insane. I should have the Swedish version. If anyone has the Swedish version to sell, give me a PM. Let me know. Okay, so the other ones on Record Store Day that I am going to, like, I bought 1 copy of each. I don't know if I'll, except for this last one, I don't know if I'll if anyone wants to, but I'll put them up when I can, like Sunday after Record Store Day. I'll put them up for sale on my shop. So Nuda per Satana. This is Italian soundtrack, I think. Another Italian horror soundtrack is Arcana. Great one. Sample them if you're interested in Italian horror prog. This, I can't really remember. I think that this is a library record. Like, I know I talked about it last Friday, but it's been a week since, and I can't really remember how it sounds now. But it's one of those super rare, I think Italian records also that they release now for Record Store Day. So that's kind of cool. So yeah, but again, I can't sell them until next Sunday. And this, I think, is the coolest one. This is at least for my customers. This is the one that people has gotten a lot of. I actually took up pre-orders through my newsletter of this, so I got a big pile of it. I don't think that I'll have any more copies available after, because I sold all of them. But I can't send them out until next week, next to next week. Okay. Anyway, super cool Italian, like heavy rock or prog. Rare as hen's teeth. So yeah. Hi, from Norway. Awesome. Tjena. Thank you for joining. So if anyone else wants to say hi, just send a chat. Love to interact. And if you have any questions up to now, just let me know. Also, I talked a little bit with Steve this week, because I did an interview with Steve Giles, who is the founder of the Dark group and record, Dark Around the Edges. He has some copies left, so if you're in UK, you can get this through Steve straight away. And if you live in Sweden or in any other country here in the EU, I have 3 copies left. I won't buy any more because they haven't sold like hotcakes, to be honest. But the cool thing is not only to own this on tape, because everyone needs a copy of this in all formats, because it's one of the best records ever. But you also get a signed photo by Steve Giles. So by buying this, you actually get the guy's autograph, which is worth the admission alone, in my opinion. So 3 left. I have 4, but 1 I'm keeping for myself, obviously. So yeah, I think that's it. I'm going to talk a little bit about books, then I'm going to leave you alone and let you enjoy your Friday. I have a shit ton of stuff to do. I think I have like 40 records that I'm going to box up and send. Just got a big truck coming with packing material. 2 big ass crates with packing material. So yeah, refilling on that. But as I said in the beginning of this video, when I started my business and my web shop, I actually bought some books. I have an entire shelf there, and also here, you can see that, with books, because I thought, like, I love music books. It's like, beside vinyl records, I think that music-related books is one of my biggest interests, and I sort of collect them. I have a pretty nice collection, I have to say, of music books. Anyway, and so I thought that maybe more would be interested in it. Got a big pile of them, put them up on my web shop, and no one gets them. Like, no one buys them. I think that I've sold 1 book in 2 years, maybe 2. So all of the books that I have are, most of them, like maybe 90%, are books that I haven't got myself in my collection and in my house. So if they don't sell, I guess that I buy them myself and keep them. So I didn't like take a full ass like chance on them. I knew that if times comes, I can keep them. But with that being said, so these are available. But you can get these, I think, in any sort of bookshop also. You don't need to buy them from me. They are available in most shops. And this, do not sell at any price. The Wild Obsessive Hunt for the World's Rarest 78 RPM Records by Amanda Petrucci. I think that's how you pronounce it. This is a fabulous book. Like, this sums up the obsession of being a record collector. And I know this is unfortunately about 78 RPM records, like old Shellacks and stuff like that. But don't like get hung up on that sort of record format, because what we are talking about here is how you sort of obtain rare records and what you do when you have them. And as she, like the title of the book, like, don't sell at any price. There are records like that you don't sell at any price. It's a fantastic book, highly recommended. This is also one that I read many moons ago, but I don't have a copy inside of my house, so maybe I'll keep this. Anyway, Joe Boyd's White Bicycle. It's a classic when it comes to sort of the 60s in music. Great one. When Muddy Waters came to London at the start of the 60s, a kid from Boston called John Boyd was his tour manager. When Dylan went electric at the Newport Festival, John Boyd was plugging in the guitar and so forth. The guy has a lot to say. This is also Richard Thompson from Fairport Convention, obviously, but also from Richard and Linda Thompson. He's still active, still playing, still touring. I saw him he was playing before Neil Young at a festival that we went to, and he kicked ass. Like his performance that hour, or 40 minutes or whatever he played, it was like eons better than Neil Young. But Neil Young concert was not good at all, in my opinion. But anyway, the guy can play guitar. Let's just say that, and sing. And a lot of shit has happened in his life. Great book. Okay, Vinyl Age. This is a very affordable book about collecting records. And if you are like me, very fascinated in sort of the human behavior of collecting and record collecting, especially, I don't think that there's ever been a book written about that subject. But it's not only that, it's like, it's talking about statistics and the sales, and like it's divided into different collectors, genres and subgenres, politics of record collecting, experiencing, privates, hip hop. Yeah, it's great. The only downside with this is that it was written in 2000 or maybe written in 2019, put out in 2020. So this is not like up to date per se. The hobby of vinyl collecting goes super fast. But I still think that it's interesting. But this is damned from start. I mean, if you write a book like this, it's outdated before it even hits the pressing plant, isn't it? Two more to go, then I'll ask you last questions, and so write questions if you have them, and I'll talk to you in my next video. Otherwise, these, I love these. I know that some people have problems with these. I don't. This is the Pecora Collector's Dreams, or Record Collector Dreams by Pecora. I think that he's in Dan Bosch every year promoting the books and stuff like that. If you're not familiar with this, I think that he's up 9 volumes now. This is number 5. And what it is just like he gathers and shows records from different parts of the world. Just like this. It's like a coffee table book with pictures. And you also have the title, the genre, and sort of the value. It goes from 1, which is rare, to 5, which is super duper mega awesome rare. There's a little bit of a quality stamp also that he uses when it's the music. I think that when the music is extra good, in his opinion. So how do I use these books? I have all 10 or 9. I love sitting listening to music and flipping through these pages of just super rare nuggets. And sometimes I find records like Frumpy here that I actually have in my collection, and then I feel a little bit warm inside, a little bit fuzzy and warm inside, or Eulenspiegel. And sometimes I find records that I had no idea about that I add to my want list, sample it, add to my want list. Oh, this is awesome. So in the background, can you see there, Demian This is a private pressed record from the States I just got that I'm thinking of putting up for sale, like a dead stock copy. There's Damien there on the States. Cool. Awesome. Had no idea that that was in there. And so forth. So yeah, it's like you can use it in so many ways. With the stuff that you don't have and you don't know in the book, it's so easy to just like put it in a want list, sample it, and all of a sudden you have 100 new records that you are looking for that you didn't know even existed. Last but not least, I have one copy of this. I thought that this would fly off the shelf but either everyone has it already, or they don't understand that they need this in their life. So Richard Morton Jack is probably the biggest sort of author when it comes to this kind of genre that we all love, like psych and heavy psych and prog. And with this book, he has gathered 101 iconic underground rock albums. And the first one I actually opened was the July record. Great texts about it. The Millennium Begin, one of the best records ever. And then you have like a little bit more known stuff like H.P. Lovecraft, easier to actually get your hands on. Blue Shear, in chronological order, I think. Soft Machine. So yeah, the key for this one is the sort of the list that he has compiled, the 101 records, where all of them are at least worth checking out. In my opinion, I don't think that there's any record of those 101 that isn't worth getting. But the key for the book is his texts. You know, you get his words about every single release. So it's a great read. So yeah, let's see here. Questions, throw them at me. Har du Dada RSD-platten puzzle? No. Is that a RSD 2025 release? Maybe I could get my hands on it if it's not like super duper mega limited. Maybe I can get it after like Record Store Day, or now I can order stuff for Record Store Day also, but I can't sell them until after Record Store Day. Anyway, let's see here. Enjoy your busy Friday and hopefully a relaxing weekend. Yes, I will. I just got a new motorcycle. I'm trying to obtain the license for driving a motorcycle. So me and my buddy, he's got a license, so he's my tutor. Is that the word for it? I don't know. So I got a new motorcycle, and I have the test for driving and getting my license is in 2 weeks, I think. So I'm really looking forward to that. Getting my motorcycle card. Anyway, hope you all have a great weekend. You can always PM me through Instagram if you have questions after this. You know, I'm at Instagram. Just search for Sublime Media and you'll find me. Or just ask questions down here in the comments. And I'll talk to you soon. Great day. Bye.